Hi guys, Dr. Joe Brown here. Wanted to go over some of the questions that you guys have been asking about what kind of environmental things should I be avoiding to kind of prevent cancer, to prevent different diseases and conditions and not have problems down the road here. And so one of the things that I've been actually fortunately been asked to do here over a number of years is I've been asked by Banner Hospital and Deli Webb Hospital, Sun City, Arizona here. They put on a big breast health fair every year here during October for the breast health awareness and prevention and things of this nature. And the reason why I'm kind of bringing this up is that, number one, I'm the only naturopath that's ever been asked to lecture at a Banner Hospital. Number two, I'm being specifically asked by the oncology department to come there and discuss different preventative cures, or I don't want to necessarily use the word cures, but preventative measures to actually get rid of these exposures that people are being exposed to every single day so that they don't ever get down the point of having a sickness. So if you actually take a look at this right over here, this is actually going to be one of the posters, and this is actually from 2010 here, from the Banner Hospital there, but they actually they asked me every year to come out there and discuss what kind of things can I be avoiding so that I don't have cancer, so that I can prevent cancer, so that I can prevent different conditions. And so what I have here is I have a couple different water bottles and plastic cups and styrofoam cups here. And so one of the things I want you guys always doing, no matter what you're doing, always pay attention to kind of where you're buying things and what it's made out of. So for example, I had a patient that just brought this in yesterday to me, and he went out and bought this for his father, who's a patient of mine, and he has stage 4 terminal cancer. And so he went out and bought a bunch of food and groceries and pots and pans and things of this nature. And one of the things that I had to discuss with this person was, I want you to get in the habit of reading labels of every single thing that you do, okay? Whether it be food you're purchasing, even to water containers or bottles that you're buying, okay? Anytime you're drinking out of plastic, okay, which number one, I'd always recommend that you drink out of glass whenever you can, because glass does not leach into the liquid that you're drinking out of. If you're ever going to drink out of things like plastic water bottles, for example, you always want to get a very thick plastic, like a Nalgene bottle, or you can go to stores like Walmart or hiking stores or things like that. You can buy that very thick plastic, or stainless steel would even be better, and then glass is going to be the very best, okay? But if you need to buy plastic, you want to make sure you're getting a hard plastic. And the key is that you want to turn the container around and look at the bottom of the container. Now, you guys are probably not going to be able to see this on camera, but the bottom line of the point I'm trying to make is that on the bottom of every single container here, whether it be a container like this, it be a cheap little bottle or a plastic cup that you're drinking out of, whether it be a styrofoam cup, on the bottom of every one of these containers, there's going to be a little triangle with arrows, okay, a triangle made out of arrows, and there's going to be different numbers within that triangle, okay? And so if you look in that triangle, the numbers are either going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, okay? It goes from 1 to 7. The only numbers that are good are number 1, number 2, and number 6. So if you turn your container upside down and you look in that triangle, if the number is not 1, 2, or 6, you should not drink out of it, okay? And the reason is that, so for instance, when I turn this bottle around here, if I look at the triangle here, this number on here is a number 3, okay? If I look here on the styrofoam here, this number here is a number 6. So a number 3 you should not be having, but like I told you earlier, a number 1, 2, or 6 is the good numbers that are safe to drink from, okay? If I turn this container here around here, this is a number 5, all right? So the bottom line is that, now, so people say, well, why do those numbers come into importance, and why is that a big deal? If the numbers in that triangle are a number 1, a number 2, or a number 6, it means that the plastics that they use to make the bottle, or the styrofoam that they used, are a harder substance that is a non-leaching substance, okay? It's a better product to make up this container. If it is any other number, or if you turn the container upside down and there's no triangle or no number in there, it means that the container has been made out of a very cheap plastic or a cheap styrofoam. So number one, you don't want to drink out of it all, okay? So now let's say that you're very conscious of this and you say, you know what, I know all this information. I'm not going to drink out of this container and I'm not going to drink out of this container because both of those have bad numbers on them. But I am going to drink out of this container because this was a number 1, a number 2, or a number 6. Now here's the thing is this safe to drink from? Well, of course, it's not going to hurt you. But what you don't want to get in the habit of is you don't want to be carrying plastic containers or styrofoam containers in your car, driving all around town, letting it sit in a hot environment, rolling your windows up in your car, because what happens is that the heat from sitting in your car for 2 or 3 hours is going to leach the plastics or the styrenes right into the water or into the liquid that you're drinking. And then you're drinking those plastics or those styrenes. You can't see them, but they're going into your system and they're going to absorb into your system, okay? Now, I don't care what state you live in here in the United States, people go to Circle K's or Quick Trips or these different grocery stores, convenience stores, and they go in and they get tea or they go in and get coffee. Well, what are they serving you these hot liquids in? Typically styrofoam or plastic. So if you are putting hot liquids into a plastic or a styrofoam container, it makes no difference what that triangle number is. Even if it's a good number, if you are putting very hot boiling liquids into styrofoam or plastic, you are going to leach those plastics and styrofoams into that liquid, coffee, water, whatever it is. And the more you drink that, you're eventually going to build up these styrenes or these chemicals in your body because they get stored in on your fat on the inside of your system. It's very hard to get rid of, very, very hard to get rid of. So again, wanted to just kind of cover a couple different environmental exposures that we really want you avoiding. It's one of the reasons why the hospitals and some of the oncologists asked me to come out and lecture on some of this stuff. So again, make sure you're reading labels. Make sure that you're not only reading labels of your foods and the different things that you're consuming, making sure there's not a lot of sugar and salt and things of that nature. But again, let's watch out for environmental type of exposures, because if you're doing this day in, day out, you're putting boiling hot water in something like this, or you're freezing water in plastic, for example, again, remember, you're going to leach those styrenes and those plastics into that liquid, and so once you consume it, it's actually going to go into your body, okay? So I hope that answered the email kind of question that I had on that. Again, you can email me any questions that you have. Our website's right here, drjoebrown.com, and again, I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm trying to put out as many videos specifically answering your questions, because like I was saying in a couple of the other videos, there's just so much information online. You don't know what's real, you don't know what's false, so I'm really trying to help you guys and kind of get some of these questions answered. So again, thank you guys for all the questions. Keep them coming, and I'll try to get to you guys one by one here, okay? So thank you. Have a good day.